Hi guys. Today, as promised, I'll be talking about another Halloween read. It's called Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Briggs. I picked this book up in a used bookstore not knowing a single thing about it. I knew it was popular, and when I picked it up, I saw that there was a whole bunch of weird, creepy, old black and white photographs. So I thought, ooh, this will probably be a creepy read and good for Halloween. So just to give you a really quick spoiler-free summary of the storyline, there's this 16-year-old named Jacob. He has a grandfather who, at the very beginning of the story, has I guess you would call it a psychotic episode. He wanders off into the bush behind his house and apparently is attacked by wild dogs and killed. Jacob stumbles upon his grandfather as he's dying, and his grandfather says some last words to him. And Jacob also thinks he sees this ominous, monster-like creature off in the distance. So, side note, my cat's here. Hi! Side note, can I just say how much I hate vague last words? Like, come on, can't you just be a little more straightforward? These are the most important words you'll probably ever have to say, otherwise you wouldn't be like dying to say them, right? So just be a little more clear, goddammit. But yeah, final words are interesting and often not very vague. So, you know, I just hate that. It's my own personal thing. I don't like that in books. Party. Hi. My cat wears a shirt because he's sick and he has a feeding tube stuck in him. So he has to wear a shirt so that it doesn't get caught on things. Bye, buddy. His grandfather's dying words eventually set Jacob off onto this adventure to find this orphanage that his grandfather had grown up in on this small island in Wales. And this, for me, is where the story falls apart. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna come out and say it right now. I did not like this book. So this is gonna be a short little discussion about, you know, why I didn't like the book. I know a lot of people do, but here's why. So first of all, the story starts off and Jacob is a convincing 16-year-old. He, you know, is a little bit angsty. He's got some issues with his job. He thinks he's pretty cool, you know, normal things. And then as the story progresses, he kind of acts more like a 5-year-old. And I don't think that's intentional. I think that perhaps the author just doesn't have a very good grasp on what 16-year-olds actually act like. Or maybe this book should have been written, in my opinion, with a character who was not 16 years old, maybe like 11 or something, and even that would be a bit of a stretch. Yeah, this is a YA book, but in my opinion, it's more of a children's book. So Jacob, as I mentioned, is 16, and his parents are like insanely rich, and they don't give him enough attention. So I don't know if you've ever known kids like this, like when you were in high school or junior high, but I did, and they were not the most well-behaved kids, and they had drug-fueled, sex-fueled parties that I wasn't invited to. So there's none of that in this book. There's just, oh, little Jacob going on, loves his grandpa, doing things his grandpa wants him to do. And then he meets these kids. I don't want to give anything away, but he meets a whole bunch of kids. And turns out these kids are actually not kids. They're like 150 plus years old. And they also act like children, and it's a bit disturbing to me because I just didn't like it. I didn't buy it. I wasn't into it. I want to read about real 16-year-olds if I'm going to read a book that's about 16-year-olds, which usually I read adult books, not YA. So there's a whole bunch of dumb scenes, in my opinion, where Jacob is like torn between wanting to kiss this child who's actually like 150 years old and also used to be going out with his grandpa. So he's torn, like, oh, I don't want to kiss this girl because he used to be my grandpa's girlfriend. And then like 2 minutes later, he's like, ah, screw it, I'll kiss her. And both the girl and him, even though they're old, act like 7-year-olds. And I mean, if I was 150 years old, trapped in a 16-year-old girl's body, I would definitely not be conflicted about who I wanted to kiss. I mean, you've had 150 years to figure yourself out. You'd be pretty confident about what you like and what you don't like and what you want out of life, you would think. But all the characters are just very naive, and I didn't enjoy that personally. Plus, I just hate children's romance. It grosses me out. So this book is filled with a whole bunch of black and white, old-timey photographs, and apparently these photographs are real, which is the coolest part about the book. I could have taken the photographs with minimal explanation on their own and left the book entirely. Like, I don't know how well you can see this, but there's some pretty cool old photographs. Like, what the heck is going on there? I don't know. They're pretty neat. So, you know, did I like this book? No, not at all. Would I recommend it to my friends? Probably not. My opinion clearly doesn't matter. The readers like it. There's a third book coming out. It's insanely popular. That's awesome. Keep doing what you're doing, Ransom Briggs. You're doing well. I just won't read any more of these books. So that's it. That's my short book review for this week. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about next week, but maybe I'll figure it out. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, whatever. Something. All right. Bye.